Good morning, everyone. How y'all doing? I'm back. It was a long weekend in Pflugerville, which is Ecchi Expo Austin. The show itself is a great show. I didn't take as much video as I would like to, mainly because let's just say there was a little bit more nudity there than I thought would be. But the first one I went to, the one in San Marcos, there was some, but this one they were definitely getting their freak on and doing their thing. It wasn't complete nudity or anything like that, but let's say we came pretty darn close. But the people there do like their ecchi, do like their hentai. I find it puzzling sometimes when they keep splitting between ecchi and hentai and this. I understand it, but to me it's kind of like splitting hairs, but it's okay. But again, we did very well there. The only thing was my mistake. I thought it was a 3-day show because Sunday, but it really wasn't. It was a 2-day show. So I had the extra day in Dallas and I spent some time there. Did a little hiking. It was a great little place. This place called Cedar Ridge. It was really nice. So I enjoyed that and got back yesterday and hit the factory right away and getting the orders out and that. This is really a test for me. In terms of just getting back into my body, in terms of just trying to figure out how good and how much I can do. So it went well though. I'm in the gym now, survived it so far, and I got about 2.5 weeks off, and then I got to go on a personal trip that we planned at the weirdest time, but it worked. It'll work out. But then I got the run of Central, Anime North, Anime Econ, and then Anime Next. I just got the email that show is on. I have to do that show with Anime NJ coming up. You know, it gotta be able to promote. Just to get into the production end, Tweeny Witches went into replication. I may have said that, but now it's in replication. I should have that in pretty soon. I really got to get those 3 adult titles done. I know the guys were working on it while I was gone. That's the whole thing about traveling and making sure the guys have the engine still moving and everything's still going well. So that I will make sure about later today, and I'll do another video later in the week. But that's a thing. Also, kind of interesting of note, maybe just go off on a little bit of a tangent here. I was on the plane, and on the way back from Dallas, I saw this movie documentary, because I'm old now and that's all we watch is documentaries. So I saw this thing called Jurassic Punk. It was about Steve Williams. You know, I love the film industry, like that kind of stuff, and how he changed it with Jurassic Park. He did everything. He really is the one who kind of put it on the map that you could do everything in computer graphics. You don't need people, you don't need physicals, you don't need opticals and all that kind of stuff. So I was doing that, and what happened was that it just hit, you know, it's a little bit of a sad story because he kind of was hit up. He's one of these kind of like rebels, most creative people, some of them can be, and he didn't fit in, but he didn't get credit for what he did, and then eventually they threw him out of ILM and all this kind of thing, and he just wound up now almost penniless or whatever, and he's trying to make a comeback. And what happens is a lot of these guys, including myself, and it reminds me of this channel, is just, you know, you wind up going to shows and people want to hear about the past and hear about what you've done and all that kind of thing and what it was like. I mean, those are great things, and I don't mind doing them myself, but it just brought to me so much, that film, in terms of just, you know, the future and media blasters and all that kind of stuff. And I was talking about, you know, the slow rise of media blasters. And I think what has to happen, and didn't happen to him, is once you've achieved a certain amount of success, you kind of have this thing that you just keep going and you forget like how it started, and you forget what happened. And I think what needs to happen, and what happened to me, mainly I'm a fairly humble guy. I don't really, you know, consider what I did anything special, and I'm not like that type of person. So you need to kind of do that. You need to start over again. You need to put yourself back into the mindset, especially when the internet came on and all those things with media blasters and how everything changed so fast. You gotta really just sit back and again become like that kid who was in his 20s or whatever, me, and we started a company. You have to just sit back and kind of just look at the landscape again, and you have to relearn. You have to relearn what's going on. And and maybe relearn isn't the right word. It's more along the lines that you got to learn. You got to like start out and say, hey, I need to, figure out what I'm going to do. Now, the difference is when you're in your 20s and in your 50s is that you can't go and say, I'm going to start, I want to now be a cook and I want to open up a restaurant. I've had ideas like that because I like cooking sometimes. And it's kind of like, no, you're in your 50s now. So now what you need to do, and that's what I kind of went through, and it was hard, is that you have to say, hey, what can I leverage that I have done in the stuff I do know, but still learn that I need to start a whole new business model. I need to start a whole new thing. You gotta remake yourself. But you still need to keep some of the old image and use that knowledge. Don't throw it all away. And that's what I went through with Media Blasters. And I think in his case, he never did that, and what happens with these guys, and especially me, even with me, you wind up, tell us the stories of the old, tell us this, what was it like then, and blah, blah. And yeah, those are great, and but your body may be in your 50s or what, but your mind is still like, I'm ready to go. I'm ready for that, for my adventure to keep going. And what happened is just that, for me and Media Blasters was that moment, yes, the hentai on Blu-ray, but I really had to learn again. Get back into the mindset while dealing with all the problems of the past that we talked about. And yeah, the titles like the Kanojo, the Paid and Laden, they kind of gave me a bit of a spark, a bit of a hope. But then you have to really look at the landscape. And it took about 2 years. And what happened this year, like I said, in Ohio, was that I said, like the music industry, the industry's went through a huge change. The music video usually follows music, and they kind of have similar, patterns in terms of growth, in terms of where they're going. And if you look at it, people were making all the money on albums and CDs and all this kind of stuff, and the artists, it was more about the music. So, but what happened was the internet came on and all these guys, and even if they're getting millions of downloads, they're making pennies. So what happened now is that for myself, I said, what's that on the anime side? I said, where are these guys making the money in the music? And I said, and I noticed, well, they're doing concerts and they're doing the merchandise. So, and maybe they do some talk, whatever, maybe they do some producing and stuff. So that's what I kind of was inspired by. And this is my rebranding or adding to Media Blasters. Anime NJ kind of was this kind of a spark where I said, what? If I'm going to take another risk, it's still in what I do. And it's still, the risk is low. It's a kind of a very, balanced thing. Even if I lose, I don't lose a lot. But it kind of works in that, what did the artists do? They do concerts. Where's the money at, and where is the people going now? They still buy some Blu-rays, they still whatever, not like the past, but where it is that these social events. This is where it was. It always was. In the past, cons were more about the dealers and the things, and there was nonprofit and all this. But now what's happened is it's basically throwing the social event, throwing the con. You'll be able to spark things, and we have the advantage with Media Blasters of maybe getting guests and all our doing of the other shows we could keep promoting. So it was a natural fit. So that's where I'm kind of leaning towards, is that continue with Media Blasters, the hentai, the whole things like that. Or our old titles, maybe throw what I call new old title, an old title that never was released before, like I Don't Like My Brother at All, or do you want to put dubs onto things, because we do have the producing side, and we do have that. And then kind of now with the Anime NJ, do some events, and I think the events can be successful. So you have to, and back to Jurassic Punk, and into the Media Blaster thing, you have to reinvent yourself. You have to look back. You have to kind of forget everything of the past. Forget what you did. Forget the old. The model is different. You have to develop a whole new model. And this is what I've been came to conclusion, and I hope we'll be successful. You know, like I said, in the past, I tried that red box thing. It wasn't, and all those kind of things. I have higher hopes on this. Back then, things were in, you know, when you're in the free fall and what, but now we're more on an upper swing and things are better. So when people say on the internet, like the guy, you know, after I talked about mucho hentai and all that, oh, please help media blasters, blah, blah. Yes, we want you to buy the products, we want you to support us and what, but we're not like the guy on Jurassic Punk or the guy or whatever, where we need your help, please donate to us, you know, or we're gonna, you know, or John will be on the street. No, what we want you to do is support us. Don't steal. I still say the same thing. You're hurting people. It's not a victimless crime. You know, the thing is that there's this thing called victimless crime. It's really not. There are victims in the crime. So, like I tell people, try to do the right thing. But as far as continuing a little bit with the story of, because that movie inspired me a bit, where Media Blasters now is heading, and I think will continue, is let's see what happens with these social events, being the promotions, doing all those things, and continuing what we've been doing with the dubs, the hentai on Blu-ray. That kind of little niche helps re-releasing some of our old stuff and see what happens. The other thing, maybe producing for other companies. Hint, hint, who knows? So we're going to try and see what happens. But that's my little, I was inspired a bit yesterday. I got to get to the gym and try and keep this old body moving, see how I feel. Take it one day at a time, guys. All right, so what I'm trying to do is be active, be safe, be healthy. May is going to be killer, so I got to keep in shape for that. And I'll do another post, but, you know, support, subscribe to the channel. Like I said, once I get to those number of views, I'm actually at 2,000 now hours. I only need 2,000 more, and then I need another I think 500 and something more people to subscribe, and you'll put all the anime up here you want, and I can monetize it so you guys can watch it for free, you know, just like an ad-based thing, and you get to see it all too, so you can support us that way. So you guys, again, be safe, be active, be healthy. Have a great day. Take care.